Hey guys, what's going on? It's Kenny here, and in today's video, I want to talk about one of Leonardo da Vinci's 7 principles of his mind, his memory, and his life. Today, we're going to talk about what's called Curiosita. You could probably guess from the title that Curiosita is the actual Italian definition, the Italian translation for the English word curiosity. Now, why might curiosity be important? Curiosity simply is asking questions about the world around you. So maybe, why is that color? Why does it look like that? Why is the sky blue instead of red? Figuring out how to answer these questions. And this is important because it's the basis for all learning that you go through. And what makes Leonardo da Vinci so great compared to so many people throughout history? You could say that he was given a God-given intelligence, or maybe he just was faster at creating connections between different ideas. Was he more creative? But Leonardo da Vinci was a master of many different fields. But why was this so? When you take a look into his notebooks and everything he accomplished in his life, there's a common theme. And that theme is curiosity. Leonardo da Vinci easily is the most curious person who ever lived. Curiosity is the starting block for all learning. When you're curious about something, you actually want to know about it. A lot of people go through their lives and their educational process without being curious about anything, and therefore sometimes they don't really learn anything, or they don't learn as much as they could. So by ingraining curiosity in yourself, and you can teach yourself to be more curious, you become a much better learner, and you become more interested in the world around you. It's a great way to be more conscientious of the world around you, which is very important for determining how successful you're going to be. So how do you do this? How do you be more curious? How do you be more observant? The answer, it might not be present at first. It's actually very simple. All you want to do, you want to start asking more questions. And through neuroplasticity, you can physically rewire your brain. And it's really interesting because when you rewire your brain, you become smarter. But it also works in reverse. If you create worse habits, you can decrease your overall effectiveness. But it works in both directions. So by creating the right habits and asking yourself more questions, you can become more curious. There's a powerful exercise and technique that I like to use to try to practice this. It's just a simple exercise of every morning getting out a notepad and writing down 100 questions, and then just going on with the rest of your day. Then periodically throughout the day, there's another part to this exercise. You just observe your surrounding and ask questions. A part of doing this effectively is you can get a notebook. This is what Leonardo da Vinci did, and his notebooks are worth hundreds of millions of dollars now. You get a notebook, you write down the questions that you make throughout the day, and then you answer them in there. So any ideas that pop up in your mind, you write them down in the notebook. This is very powerful for a few important reasons. First of all, you're organizing your thoughts and your memory. And you can also use this as a space to keep asking questions and answering them. It also does another thing. It creates a feedback loop for your mind. When you create a feedback loop, you reinforce good habits and you make them even stronger. This is very effective for rewiring the way your brain works. And it's why in my training system, I think it's great for people to use a notebook to write down their training, or to use the training workbook that I created to write down the exercises in. When you do this, you further ingrain the habits into your mind, and you rewire the way your brain works. This is a great exercise for expressing your creativity, for learning new things, and making profound insights into the way the world works. So in conclusion, use curiosity to learn about the world around you and learn more. If you practice asking yourself 100 questions per day, every morning, it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Maybe you could, start with 100 for a few days, and then maybe move down to 50 per day, and then maybe 25, so it takes a little bit less time. But periodically throughout the day, just observe your surroundings and ask questions about what's around you. So, I ask myself about that door behind me. What kind of wood is that made of? And then take notice of the little details of it. How is it attached to the wall? How is the hinge moving when the door opens? Just asking yourself simple questions like this and thinking about it, eventually your mind is going to start looking for answers. And this is the basis for all learning. It's the basis for all genius. And it's going to be the basis for anything you really want to accomplish in your life. So I really hope this was helpful for you guys. And don't forget to check out my podcast that I just created. There will be a link in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.